Hey everyone, welcome to From the Depths. I'm Menti, and this is episode 45 of the Black Sun Syndicate Squadron Shootout. Sorry, my voice got a little froggy there. This episode, we've got the Fire and Brimstone by the Jimmer going up against the first Void Crusade by Shieldmate. This is a secondary round match, so whoever loses here will be going home. They will be eliminated from the tournament. Let's get this started and find out who that's going to be. And just watch the swarm of missiles launch from the Brimstone rain. The first Void Crusade has some missiles too, but nowhere near on the level that Brimstone Rain does. That's just the Brimstone Rain, not even counting the Hellfires. Yeah, it looks like a lot of the time the Brimstone Rain's initial missile volley falls a little short. Like they don't have quite enough fuel to reach the 1,500 meters distance. But it looks like some of them connected with the Tiberus over here. I'm gonna pause so I can move over here quicker. Okay. Yeah, see how many are just sitting here in the water and didn't do anything? That is an unfortunate occurrence that seems to happen at the beginning of every single battle with the Fire and Brimstone. But then that second volley, usually by then enough distance has been closed, and it does some serious damage. Though the first Void Crusade has two submarines, which are quite difficult to hit with missiles, though not impossible, just much more difficult. Let's see if they are those missiles are getting down far enough. It doesn't look like it. Does not look like they're getting down far enough. Though there are torpedoes, I believe the Brimstone Rain fires torpedoes as well, so the Fire and Brimstone far from helpless against submarines. But oh, the Brimstone Rain just took a big shot, probably from the main guns of the Tiberus over there, or Tiberus, however you want to say it. I do that every single time. Got lifted out of the water, lost its ammo, or at least some of its ammo. Took some big cram hits there. Yeah, see there are some torpedo launchers on the side. I'm not seeing any actual breaches into the hull. Oh, there's some right there through the missile slots. I'm not sure if that was caused by the explosion or if the guns of the Tiberus punched a hole through there, or if they're heat. They look like they could be heat. The Brimstone Rain getting a taste of its own medicine from one of the Dark Templars. So far, it's a very close match. 94.7% on the Fire and Brimstone, 93.3% on the first Void Crusade. Very close match. There's so many missiles in the water. It's become a minefield. Those cram shells keep landing. They aren't particularly big ones, but this isn't a particularly heavily armored vessel, so I think it's just alloy and then a layer of metal. Looks like it has heavy armor on the bottom. Probably for center of mass, I'm not sure. Yeah, the Dark Templars are doing just fine. They've taken some minor damage, but for the most part, they're doing just fine, and I think those guys are going to be key to whether or not the first Void Crusade can win this. 'Cause, I mean, we already know, we've seen it, when the Brimstone Rain can be taken out, I wouldn't say easily, but compared to the Hellfires, it's very easily taken out. And it is a huge chunk of the Fire and Brimstone's hit points. It's literally half. So, if the Brimstone Rain gets taken down and the Tiberus survives, which is looking like it may happen. Well, I don't know if the Tiberus will survive. But at this rate, it will definitely still be alive by the time the Brimstone Rain dies. You know, this could come down to another hit point match. Brimstone Rain seems to be dead in the water now. It's still firing the occasional missile, but nowhere near what it used to do. Oh, looks got some torpedoes coming in too. Yeah, I don't imagine the Brimstone Rain is going to be around much longer. Looks like one of the Hellfires took a minor hit, lost 0.1% of hit points. But the fact that it took a hit at all is worth reporting. Those things generally don't get hit. Brimstone Rain all the way down to 60% health, 59%. Blocks are falling off. $55.5, 80% in sinking. That is going to be it for the Brimstone Rain. And the Tiberus is still alive, but it's pretty significantly damaged. Missile strike going in, but it's going to have a very difficult time catching one of those Hellfires. As you can see, we already know from the previous episode the Fire and Brimstones were in that the Hellfires are worth 25% each. So the total hit points left should be right around 50% once this is finished. Now it might be off by a couple tenths of a percentage because it also includes the spawn stick, but it's already much more accurate than it was before. So again, thanks for fixing that, Wootness. So if this does end up being a match that goes the distance, I'm feeling confident enough in the mod to just trust its numbers. Yeah, 50.7%. Yeah, that's good. So it's going to be a matter of whether or not the Hellfires can get the Tiberus to despawn, probably. They killed one of the Yaris's, but those are tiny little submarines. Not a whole lot of blocks. I don't think the first Void Crusade is really going to have the capability to hit the Hellfires. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and back up and give a good view of the battlefield overall, and I'm going to speed it up from this point. Which I don't want to go that high because then you can't see the Dark Templars. Okay, yeah, here, this is good enough. I'll, where's the other Dark Templar? I'm sure it's around here somewhere. Oh, I just can't see it because of the water. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and speed things up here, because I don't think the Hellfires are going to be able to be hit. So it basically comes down to target practice for them and whether or not they can do enough damage before the match ends to bring out a hit point victory. Oh, one of the Hellfires seems to have taken a critical hit. It has taken 5% of its health and damage and has actually been shot out of the sky. And earlier, one of the Dark Templars did get itself detonated for range disqualification. But this is unusual. We do not normally see a Hellfire get taken down. But now that it's in the water, that may be all she wrote for it, because I don't imagine these things are very durable when it comes to actually taking hits. Yeah, you can see its health is plummeting. It lost its turret, its missile turret. On top, it is trying but unable to get itself out of the water at the moment. I wonder what managed to connect and do this much damage. If it was maybe a lucky missile strike, maybe a lucky heat shell hit something important. Who knows? Are those missiles coming from the other Hellfire? It looked like they were coming from that trajectory, but it's hard to tell. It may have just been... Oh, now the torpedoes are coming. Oh, it looks like the Data Blades have kicked back in on this Hellfire. So it is moving again, but it is so badly damaged. It can't... It's stuck down in the water. It doesn't seem able to get itself out of the water despite its engines being operable now. It keeps leapfrogging through the water. Oh, there it goes. It has managed to get itself back in the sky. Yep, it seems to be functioning again. What a shame, First Void Crusade. You really should have capitalized on that. It would have been very impressive to see a Hellfire despawn for once. But it seems to be back in the air and flying just fine. Ooh, that was a near collision. Oh, and the Tiberus is very low on health, and because the Dark Templar got itself disqualified, it is a close match. The loss of the Tiberus will probably be a fatal blow. Well, no, not probably. It definitely will. If the First Void Crusade had managed to take down that Hellfire, it might be a different story. But, yeah, it looks like the Brimstone Rain might pull out a victory here in round 1. If they manage to despawn the Tiberus here soon. That missile is right on that. Oh, man. These missiles definitely have the speed and agility to catch the Hellfire. But because missiles have stupidly bad fuel efficiency and from the depths, they don't have the range. You've got 30 seconds to despawn the Tiberus. "20 seconds. If the Tiberus survives, then it is a 3 percentage point game, and the victory will go to the First Void Crusade. These missiles got to do it. Down to the wire, and time. The Tiberus has survived. It is not despawning. So it is 46.9 to 49.8. That's 2.9%. Even giving a little bit of margin for error based on for the spawn sticks, which are only like 0.5% at most. The victory goes to the First Void Crusade. It's well, I'll just remember that it's 2.9% difference. Yep, 2.9%. And we'll go ahead and restart. Well, that damage to the Hellfire may have been very key there as well. It's 2.9%, and they are both missing. It's 1.6% is missing from the spawn stick. Wow, the spawn stick is 1.5% of. Okay, so but 1.6% means that means the actual difference is a 1.3%, which is still a victory for the First Void Crusade. So congratulations there, Shieldmate. You won round 1. Let's get round 2 underway and see if you can pull it off again. But yeah, I think that damage the Hellfire took was key there. If it hadn't been damaged, the battle would have gone the complete opposite direction. That's how close that match was. I'm not sure where the missiles for the Brimstone Rain are going this time. Are they going for the Yaris? The little mini subs? Looks like they are, and that's not going to work. Those missiles are going to ride back up to the surface and not do anything. Then again, the first barrage of missiles from the Brimstone Rain generally doesn't reach them. Well, it was. It may have changed targets, or I don't know, something happened. Doesn't seem to be doing quite so much damage now. The Fire and Brimstone have a bit of an early lead here. One of the Hellfire has got itself 17 seconds at disqual time. There goes some shells out. Oh, are those frag shells? I thought frag shells were blue, not green. Maybe they're a mix. Maybe they're heat and frag, or I don't know. Brimstone Rain is surviving a lot better this time around than it did in the first match, and the Tiberus is taking a lot more damage. Fire and Brimstone are getting a good lead in the start. There's just so many missiles just laying in the water. Veritable minefield the Brimstone Rain is sailing into. That's not a good idea. That's not a good idea. One missile hit that didn't need to take. A couple more missiles. This is not how you minesweep. You don't minesweep by sailing into the mines. Yeah, Brimstone Rain is taking some serious damage now. So is the Tiberus. The Tiberus is actually pretty far out there. If it doesn't turn and come about, it's going to end up sailing out of range. It really needs to make a turn here. Oh, it may be dead in the water. If it's not dead in the water, it's moving very slowly. Hellfire also seems, or Hellfire, the Brimstone Rain also seems to have gone dead in the water. One of the Hellfires is gaining disqualification time. Yeah, it looks like it's too high. The Tiberus and the Brimstone Rain are much closer in hit points this time. Brimstone Rain is taking some damage. I think it's getting torpedoed, mainly at this point. Yep, you can see some torpedoes coming in there. What? You know, you know what? I said that the Brimstone Rain wasn't the most heavily armored vehicle earlier, but I take that back. It's actually pretty. It's actually got some pretty hefty armor. It just doesn't look like it because the outside is alloy. But then you get inside and there's metal and heavy in there. That's pretty significant. But it is having some issues. It has missiles loaded, but it's not firing them. Oh, and its ammo stores just went up. Oh, one of the Hellfires is down to 57.3%. Hold on, let's pause. Get over there to that. What happened? And one of the other ones is 93%. Oh man, that Hellfire is going to be eliminated. I think this is the first time we've seen a Hellfire actually get despawned from damage. Yeah, it is dead. That is an AI dead 2 damaged Hellfire. It is gone. And the remaining one has 52 seconds of disqualification time. If it gets itself disqualified, it's going to ruin the hopes and dreams of its team. I'd really like to know what is actually taking down these Hellfires. Because it's happened in both rounds now that they've managed to bring one out of the sky. So that, to me, that seems like it's more than just, you know, dumb luck. It's so hard to follow this thing around. It's faster than the camera. Some of those missiles get awfully close. Maybe that's probably the missiles that are doing it. If they get launched at the right time, they have the speed and maneuverability to catch these things. So if they get launched at the right time where they don't have to use as much fuel to reach them, they can definitely land the shots. The Brimstone Rain and the Tiberus are over here duking it out now. Watch, I'm gonna go look at that, and the Hellfire is gonna get hit. I'm gonna miss it again. Tiberus is looking to finish the Brimstone Rain off, and if it manages that, it's basically over for the Fire and Brimstone. I don't think a single Hellfire will be able to despawn anything except maybe a Yaris before the battle's over. They're a good supplemental firepower, but on their own, just one of them. I think the first Void Crusades, yep, there it is. The Brimstone Rain is 2 damage and going to despawn. I think on its own, a Hellfire just doesn't have the firepower to take down tankier vessels. And it's a good thing the Tiberus is already sailing towards where the Hellfire and the Dark Templars are duking it out. Because if it wasn't, it would end up getting disqualification time. But in this situation, it won't. Yes, those missiles get awfully close. That's leading me to believe that there are times when a missile barrage gets off you know, at the proper timing, the proper angle, and they actually managed to connect. And there we go. The Brimstone Rain has fully despawned, so the Tiburus is going to start making its way over here. And join in the flailing to hit a Hellfire. Those missiles got pretty close too. Yeah, a lot of them are getting really close, but always seeming to just barely not make it. But I feel like when the missiles get that close and the sky's full of them, eventually something's going to connect. The Hellfire's healing back up from the damage it took before, but it's not going to be enough. It's not anywhere near enough. Down to the last couple minutes here, but it's basically over as it is. Even if this Hellfire manages to despawn the Tiburus, that will not get it the win. And all of those missiles, just so many shots that get so close, but fall just short. Now the Hellfire is raining some shells down on the Tiburus. Again, those missiles get so close. But again, I feel like when they're getting that close and the air is filled with them, that eventually somebody somewhere is going to fire at the right time. But honestly, it doesn't really matter. We've got 1 minute and 15 seconds left on the clock. And there is absolutely no way the Fire and Brimstone can come back from this. Oh, see, that Hellfire is flying straight at those missiles. But they ran out of fuel. And it also turned. I was going to say maybe that's how the hits got landed before. But yeah, that is it. Time is up. That is a clear, easily decided victory for the First Void Crusade. So my condolences, Jimmer. Your Fire and Brimstone has been eliminated from the Black Sun Syndicate Squadron Shootout. I had a good run, very strong design. These Hellfires were very scary things that were very difficult to hit. Had good firepower, but they just weren't enough to do the job alone. The Brimstone Rain was just too, even though it was pretty decently armored, in the end it was just too fragile, and it getting despawned was basically the downfall, was your Achilles heel. But congratulations go to Shieldmate with your first Void Crusade. You have weathered the storm of the Fire and Brimstone, and we'll be moving on to the next round of the secondary bracket. Double congratulations for actually shooting down a Hellfire. That's an achievement in and of itself. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the battlefield.